Our next guest on Live at 5 is probably as well qualified as anyone to offer tips for the traveler. Comedian David Brenner spends about as much time as any human being ought to living out of a suitcase as he travels around the country entertaining audiences from coast to coast, which may explain why he's written a new book called If God Wanted Us to Travel. That's a ... on the end of that.
Yeah, ... because there are certain things. If God wanted us to travel, I was thinking about this, that if God really wanted us to travel, you know, you always question your life, if God wanted me to do this. I thought if God wanted us to travel, he would have never let the DC-10 be invented.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
then I
David.
thought, if God wanted us to travel, before someone can give you a body search, they'd have to give you a dozen roses and say they love you.
You betcha.
You know what I mean? There are all different things. If God wanted us to, if he wanted us to travel, he would definitely keep honeymooners away from realistic, normal people on vacation.
What's wrong with honeymooners?
They skip, they dance, they're so happy, they make me miserable. Come down to earth, join us. You know?
Before we talk any further about this book, we were doing the story about the Loch Ness Monster,
Yes.
and it reminded you of, have you seen the Loch Ness Monster?
No, I haven't seen a Loch Ness Monster, you know, no, under normal conditions. But I have something in my book that I'm surprised that I give statistics on a lot of things, you know, because people are disillusioned by things when they travel. And did you know, and I should have, if I would have known you were doing a story, I would have included that, 58.5% of the time in the last 2 years that the Loch Ness Monster has been seen, Elvis Presley was seen riding him. Did you know this?
No, I didn't know this.
Yes.
I didn't
Maybe
know.
not this time.
You know, when I'm traveling, you know what I hate to hear? First thing I hate to hear is from a pilot who's telling us the plane is not going to take off in the next 10 minutes or hours for all we know. There are probably some things that you hate to hear.
Yeah, I hate to hear, if you're traveling, you hate to hear this. If you're out in some third world country or something and you hear, oh, wait a minute, sir. We do not have a monkey on our $100 bill. This is not our currency.
Oh, no.
You know?
Are you good at figuring out foreign currency?
Yeah, I'm great.
Are you?
Oh, yeah, I do it this way. Let's see, that's two bull-headed men, the weird woman with the hat. I do it by what they look like. Yeah, the blue one with the castle. This is how I deal.
Get out.
How much is that? Two castles, a bull-headed man, and the guy with the crooked nose. What do I get as change? That's how I deal. I get everything memorized by what they look like. Honest to goodness, that's how I do it.
Listen, you tell me.
But I hate another thing you hate to hear is if you're in the car and you're a man, you hate to hear this. You know, like you're in the back of a cab somewhere. Honey, that's the third time we passed that statue. Then, honey, why don't you say something to him about it? And then the last one, honey, are you going to let him talk to you that way?
That's right.
This is like,
there are probably some things that you hate to see, too. I'm telling you, some ugly sights traveling.
Well, one thing you definitely hate to see is a dead deer tied on the wing of a plane.
No, you don't want to see this.
You do not want to see that. Or you don't want to see a dead moose on the fender of your car and you have not been hunting. Or you don't want to see a pilot sitting in the cockpit with his pants down around his ankles. You do not want to see that.
You don't want to see a pilot with sunglasses on and dead bugs in them.
Dead bugs on his sunglasses. You don't want to see that. Or you know what else you don't want to see? You don't want to see as you're driving about a half a block from the gasoline station you were just filled up in. You look up in the rearview mirror and see your 2-year-old standing by the pump.
No, this is not good.
You do not want to see this. These are all the things you don't want to see.
Now, you have a section in the book about old wives' tales. Tell us what some of these old wives' tales are.
Well, people are disillusioned about a lot of things in travel. I try to dispel this. For example, it's absolutely not true that toll collectors are wearing pants.
No, they don't wear them.
They don't have them. When they're back there, they are not wearing pants.
You have stopped the car, stood up, looked down in the thing, no pants.
And it's not true that there's a law that all housekeepers in hotels must be as wide as their carts. That's not a law. It's a coincidence. And it's also not, this is also not true.
Okay.
That if a very heavy-set person gets vapor locked on a commode in a plane, bus, or a train, when they stand up, the passengers will not have their lungs collapse. A lot of people live in fear of this.
David,
I'm serious.
These things come to you in a dream. What is
No, I've had experience. I've seen people clutching their chest when a heavy person, you could hear there's vapor locked in there.
But I want to know what they were doing with those full-length mirrors in the commode. What?
Somebody must think we look attractive. I think it's that construction workers, and you know, he's getting even with us. You go in a hotel and you go in the bathroom, you close the door and you're looking at yourself. That is one of the worst.
I know it.
I like to play tricks on housekeeping in the bathroom. What I like to do is every day I return the toilet paper to the point. So after I'm there about 10 days, all the housekeepers, I'm walking down the hall and I hear them all whispering. I know they're saying, you know, David Brenner, he's stuffed. I mean, I don't know how he's so funny with all that pain. A point.
We have time for one worst traveling experience? Just one?
The worst traveling experience I ever had is I went to the airport and I was ahead of time. And they said, you can catch the earlier plane. I said, great. Then I started thinking, oh man, suppose this plane goes down. I should have been on a later plane. What did I change? Went back, I said, give me the, no, change it back to the later plane. I said, okay. Then I thought, wait a minute, God's trying to tell me to get on the earlier plane. The later plane's going to go down. I went up and back about 12 times. Finally, I went up, he said, it's too late. So now I'm on the later plane. I kept saying, can you call and find out if the first plane made it? Because I figured the first plane, I'm not.
This really happened. Come on, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll never show up early enough to catch the other plane.
Oh, David, listen, I'm going to tell you there's lots of laughs in this book. If God wanted us to travel,
right.
Deep, David Brenner.
Thanks
Always fun to see you, David.
Thank
you for coming
thanks
by.
a lot.
Okay. Isn't it nice of him to share his holiday with us?
Yes, it is.
I think so.
You got to get those old wives to stop telling those tales.
Yeah, they're very old.
Thank you, Dave. That is Live at 5 for this Memorial Day. We invite you